I'm just waiting on Art Man to get in here. Then we're gonna get this started. Talking about boxing, a little politics, everything, man. Babe, can you message Art Man? Come here, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. That's the only way it's gonna work. Y'all stay right here. Just relax, man. Damn. Oh, here he is. Send a request, Artman. Oh, okay, he just sent a request. Black man, how you feeling?
What's going on, brother?
Good, chilling. How you feeling, man? You know, it's really an honor to have you on here, bro. You know you a hot commodity out here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. That's what the streets say right now, man. What you tell me what's good, man? You know they say Arden was right. You know I know you was right. I knew you was right from the beginning. But what you know what's really good, man?
Do you want to know how like this shit got started, basically?
Well, what I want to know is let's start with I want to start with you, right? I want to start on your business, you know, how you got to the point where you are, and then we'll translate to the boxing side of it, and then we'll just talk. Let's just talk boxing after that. But I want to talk about your business. I feel like that's important because you got some good shit. Like you not just a guy that that just talks shit but don't have nothing to sell or nothing to offer. You really have some good shit. Malik Scott winning your shit. So let's talk about how you got started, where you started, when you started, and then let's just transition. Then we'll get to boxing talk.
Okay, well shit. Everybody know me as Art Man. You know, I was born here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was raised in Texas, Arlington, Texas, but I came back to Minnesota,
Okay.
and I'm a digital illustrator. But I started off basically hand drawing all my favorite boxers and stuff like that, and then I transitioned into electronic. And what I do is just create people's
Right.
logos. That's why they call me the art man. Anything that you need, like a T-shirt for your brand, mixtape cover, anything that you need that involves art, I got you. And
Yes,
that's where the
sir.
name Art Man came from. But how I got into boxing more was I started to draw, hand drawings and stuff like that, like Errol Spence and stuff like that. And people was like, man, that's a really good drawing. Do you sell any merch? And I was like, nah, I wouldn't even think of nothing like that. I was like, nah, I'm just drawing it for fun.
Uh huh.
And the next thing you know, one of my OGs was like, man, you need to just go ahead and just take it all the way. And I was just like, you know what? Let me start drawing electronically. And next thing you know it, people hitting my line like, man, can I get this? Can I get that? And I'm like, man, the demand got so high that I just started to just take off from there. But if you want to know how I transitioned to like being known on Twitter and stuff like that, I can go ahead
Right.
and tell you that real quick.
Yeah. Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So what happened was, man, some dude was like, man, get a Twitter. So I'm like, cool, let me go ahead and get a Twitter. I download the app, I made the Twitter, I started following a whole bunch of people that's talking boxing, and next thing you know it, I'm having debates with people back on Twitter. I'm like, dude, man, these dudes are stupid. Let me go ahead and educate these guys real
It's
quick.
there.
I'm like, man, let me start educating. And then I ran across this guy named Ring IQ.
Yeah.
So apparently, I didn't know who the guy was. I didn't know who none of these people were. So I'm tweeting. I see him put something real stupid about Wilder, Joshua, and Fury. So I'm like, let me educate him.
Right.
I start, speaking my piece. Next thing you know it, this dude calling me out. He like, oh, I want to, debate you, this and that. I'm like, dude, you don't want to debate me, man.
Right.
You don't want to debate me, dude, because come on, I stay on my P's and Q's when it comes to that. But he got me on the live and we had a debate. And for some reason, man, this shit ended up being big because we had boxing media, we had Tim Bradley and Jamel Herring and
Right.
other other boxing professionals tuning into this debate. And I
Top dog.
spoke my piece. And I was telling dude, I'm like, man, Wilder about to fight Fury next. I don't know what y'all, I don't know what y'all thinking, man. There's no way that these guys are going to fight in the middle of the desert, in
Yeah,
July. And they're like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. I even had media members laughing at me, adding me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Go
I
back
see.
to your pen, go back to your drawings,
Right.
go back to just drawing pictures or whatever. This dude, we even made a bet. I made a bet with the dude. I said, man, for 2 hoodies, he never completed the bet when it came to the 2 hoodies. But I said, man, I want you to buy 2 Artman hoodies and I'm gonna send it to you with Wilder's image on it. If Wilder gets to fight Fury next. He made the bet, dude. I said, man, it's the worst decision you ever made in your life because when that arbitration ruling came, man, the whole Twitter stood
I
still because
know.
they was like, yo, how the hell this illustrator from Minnesota get this right?
Right.
Meanwhile, the biggest companies in the world is telling me something different.
Right.
Man, it was just wild, dude. And ever since then, I've just been doing my shit, dude. And get in contact with Bomb Squad. They got my merch. And it's just been up from there.
So let's talk about that. Like, what do you feel like uh Artman being right? Hashtag Artman was right. What do you feel like that did for you and your brand? Like besides folks buying your stuff, just your brand, period. Like, as far as communicating with everybody, nobody could call you. I feel like nobody could say that you a clown or some shit. Like, they can't
They
say that
can't.
anymore. I feel like they're sitting there looking mighty stupid. So how does that make you feel?
Man, how it make me feel is, I put my reputation on the line. Somebody told me this, dude. They was like, man, you taking a big risk saying that this Wilder versus Fury gonna happen. What you gonna do if it don't happen? I remember people telling me that every day. They like, dude, what you gonna do if this don't happen, bro? Because I done seen this ESPN article. I done got the notification to my phone.
Right.
I don't know, dude. Are you sure? I even got my family members saying, like, man, what's going on? Are you sure? Because it's looking like, you know, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
But I kept faith because I'm like, dude, if this the only way that this fight could not happen if the justice system completely just screwed over Wilder,
Right.
which we know could happen.
Yeah,
But
that's what I thought for a second.
I just had faith, dude, and shit came out right. And then now, whenever I'm getting into a debate with these same dudes that was telling me wrong, I'd be like, man, what can you really tell me? You guys sat there and believed that these two men was gonna fight in the middle of in the desert,
Right.
in the hottest time of the year in that country.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker gonna need a whole bunch of suntan lotion to fight Joshua out there. Come on.
And not only did they believe it, but they believed a known liar.
A known liar.
So okay, so let's transition then. Whenever you seen Tyson Fury come out with that announcement, the fake announcement, clearly that he was fighting Anthony Joshua in Saudi, you know how he came out. How did it make you feel? Did you get nervous? Did you just like listen?
Nope. I didn't
Yeah,
get nervous at
just right
all.
to
You
go.
know why? You know why? Because I thought about it, man. I said if it was a couple weeks later, it would have been the anniversary of him saying it the first time last
Right.
year. So you know what I did when people, because a lot of people sending me DMs of that video, like, bro, he talking about the fights happening. I was like, the first thing I did was tell the dudes I made bets with. I said, man, let's double our bet right now.
Right.
Right now. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but I was on Twitter, like I was telling everybody, I'm like, dude, let's triple our bet. Let's double our bet right now because I'm so confident. For him doing that video, it made me even more confident because he's a liar,
Right. No liar.
a known liar. And
Why do
now,
you
go ahead.
why do you feel like I mean, I know your answer and I know my answer to this. But
Okay.
but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Why do you feel like even with us knowing that he's a liar, that society felt the need to believe in it anyway?
Because you know what it is too, man? A lot of people preyed on the system screwing Wilder over.
Mm-hmm.
They really did. And don't let these people fool you because a lot of people try to come out and say, oh, man, I didn't know. No, that's not true because I sat here and told you. But it sounds better when a white man is saying it. So you know how it goes.
Yeah. And my thing about that is this. Um, it's more so of the thing where they knew, like the same people that will argue with you and say that racism don't exist and all these things are the same people that believe that the arbitration would go into Tyson Fury's favor because of racism.
Yeah,
And they don't even
literally,
realize what they're saying. You think
literally.
that because Wilder is as a black man, that's why you think that arbitration would go away from his favor. You don't want to say it, but then when it's time for it to actually happen and it don't go against favor, you want to act shocked. No, sir, it don't work both
They want
ways.
to act shocked, and then they want to say crazy things like, the media, art man don't. I don't fuck with media, man. They don't fuck with me either because
Not old media, not old media.
not old media, because I'll sit there and call them out. I'll be like, dude, how can y'all say things like it's a dark day in boxing when justice was served? What are you talking about, man?
To an American.
You an American, you talking about it's a dark
To an
day in boxing.
American.
And then they use code words like Wilder threw a monkey wrench into the plans. Really? Come on now. Monkey wrench?
Yeah. And if you know let me just educate y'all for those who are in here. The monkey wrench, quote unquote monkey wrench, was invented by
Jack Johnson.
by Jack Johnson. They changed it to monkey wrench. Why? Obviously, we know the answers to that. They made it a racial undertone. Okay, so if they say they throw a monkey wrench to Wilder, look deeper. It's not black and white like folks want to just make it seem like, man, it's just about boxing. Jermaine Charlo ass nigga. No.
Nope. And that's why I don't. That's why I don't like, dude. Because the thing about me, dude, I always been a person that loved history, like learning history and learning the truth and asking questions and doing
Right.
my own independent research. So, me being a boxing fan, a younger boxing fan, I went back and did my Googles, man. I studied the Joe Louis versus Max Mellons and Cooney versus Holmes, and all the racial undertones in that fight, man, like those fights. And they all said similar things to what Tyson Fury said in the second fight when he said, oh, man, I don't see it as race. I just see it as so and so. But in reality, in this country we live in, the world is going to perceive this fight as a black man versus a big white man.
It's a fact.
And, and it's not something that we created. It's something that's been happening before we was born.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about, just transitioning? How do you feel about that statue where Ricky Haddon is standing over this black man who he didn't knock out? Let's just state that fact. Ricky Haddon didn't knock out Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury didn't knock out Deontay Wilder. Why do you feel like he had why do you feel like he stood over Deontay Wilder? I mean, what was the point of that?
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Motherfuckers want to say it wasn't racial. Yes, the fuck it was. Nobody here made a statue of Floyd knock your motherfucking ass out. Manny knock your motherfucking ass out. Nobody did these things. Why are you standing over this man? How do you feel about the statue situation?
Man, one thing I can say for sure is Europeans been celebrating a victory won by cheating for a very long time.
That's a fact.
And me being an artist, I understand the power art possesses. What they're trying to do is whitewash history.
Yep.
They're trying to make it seem like Fury knocked Wilder out. In reality, if you look at the sculpture is Wilder. Yeah, he got knocked down, but he got right back up after that.
The part that don't show.
The motion of him laying down is him getting back up.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just sitting like, you guys are trying to whitewash history. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, you know what? It just made me realize that I just got to go harder with my art. Because a lot of people started to bring up the fact that I sell these shirts right here.
Show them the whole shirt. Show them the whole shirt. Yes, sir. Yeah,
it's called
that. Yes, sir.
The Cheat King shirt.
Yeah.
And it's a fictional skeleton with floppy gloves and the Cheat King shorts.
Yes, sir.
you know, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, if Art Man can do stuff like that, I'm like, no, no, this is a fake drawing. You have a real size sculpture of Wilder. And that picture, it don't just offend Wilder, it offends my culture because when I
Right.
see that, I see the statues in the African American Museum of all the Black Americans that died during slavery. Like that's, you know, I don't like that type of stuff, dude. And
Right.
it's very insulting. It's very insulting that some Europeans decided to take a picture of them standing over a black sculpture.
Right. And Tyson Fury, he has 22 knockouts, right?
Yep, but he
What?
got four solid KOs.
Okay, so he got okay. Let's stick with me. You gonna see what I'm saying? Okay, so he
Okay.
got 4 solid KOs, right?
Yep.
How many statues? How many statues he got? Of them
I
4?
be done.
None.
Done.
None. That tells you right there what the fuck it was, bro. We know what it was, man. I'm so I can't explain. I got so much money, and you know what's sad, bro? I got money against black folks.
Hmm.
That's betting against Wilder in this trilogy. Black
Yep.
folks. I didn't bet
Me
one
too.
white person.
Me too.
Not one, bro. I
Me
got
too.
about $400-$500 worth of bets against black folks, man.
I
Going
want to
against the
bet.
code.
I want to bet of that arbitration against a black folk too. Black person.
No, you won against Ring IQ. He act like he didn't want to pay you.
Ring IQ and another dude. Man, it's just like what I think about this whole situation is like, man, y'all can talk all day. Y'all can say whatever, but y'all not gonna be in the ring with Tyson Fury.
That's a fact.
And here's the thing. You guys want to say Fury didn't cheat, right? But the fact that Wilder has it set in his mind that Tyson Fury cheat. Oh my God. That makes him so dangerous because he's already known as the strongest puncher in boxing history.
Yeah.
And he feels like you try to take him away from his kids.
Yeah.
And there's nobody that can tell him no different.
It's a fact. Yeah, I know.
So, you know, I'm just glad I got my ticket.
Yeah.
You know, I seen a dead body before, but I ain't never seen somebody get killed in front of me.
I want to see it.
Especially not somebody that I hate.
I want to see it. I want to see it. And I'll say this. Deontay Wilder wasn't bitching 310 last year.
Hell no, I ain't see that. I
He
ain't
sure
see that
wasn't.
at all.
Deontay Wilder wasn't benching 310 last year. So that just tells me he finna come with something a little bit harder this fight.
He
How you
coming
feel
with
about
that
Dillian
straight.
White chiming in? Talking about
Dillian White.
Dillian
Dillian
White can't
White.
bench 310, bro.
Dillian White a bigger fan of Wilder than me.
That's a fact.
Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
He a bigger fan than me. He love Wilder.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk.
Yeah,
He
I agree.
love Wilder.
Him and his fake brother.
His fake brother, his boyfriend, husband.
Whatever
I
he
ain't
is.
never seen him around no hoes. I mean, no women, anything like that.
He ain't on that man birth certificate. Or not birth certificate. That's not that man brother. Dean White is not Dillian White brother. Let's clear the air right now. That
But
is
you know
not that man
them dudes is
real brother.
weird. Them dudes is weird. They
I know
been
they
weird,
weird. All
man.
them Europeans, UK dudes is weird. And
And
I feel like
let's just call it how it is. There's some cool ones from the UK, but the cool ones, if y'all really cool, y'all gotta step out and say something about these fuck niggas representing y'all.
they're not.
Real shit.
They're not. But see, let me tell you what's crazy though. They're not gonna step out and say anything, but you know what? They shouldn't. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like me and you, we gonna stay on code when it comes to Wilder, cause that's our guy. They
Mm-hmm.
gonna stay on code over there when it comes to Dillian White, cause that's their guy. See,
Dillian White, he
what
trying to
we
get him a
mess up
fight with
is,
Wilder.
yeah, but what we mess up is we don't stay on code. You'll get a Jermell Charlo type coming saying race don't matter.
Got it.
You'll get somebody like
I
Andre
mean,
Ward
you know
saying,
what
"Oh, I
though?
bet, oh, he's not gonna want that rematch."
Let me
You gotta
counter
stay
that.
on code.
Let me counter that. We do have people on code because when Jamal Charlo said that shit, the community shut that shit down ASAP.
Okay.
And he had to go on there and recant.
Did he recant? I mean, goddamn.
I mean, you know, the motherfucker, he's so like, I don't think he's all the way there. So he tried to recant.
Same. Dang.
He tried, but you got to understand what these boxers do. You never know what really going on